Welcome everybody to the upper bracket in the LEC for our match of the week, G2 versus MKOI, and whoever wins today books their ticket directly to the grand final in Madrid next week. It's a banger! It's a rematch of the Spring Finals!
It is! We haven't seen this since the Spring Finals. We've had two separate groups. We got to see the Winter Finals rematch straight after G2 again, now against MKOI. It's a chance for revenge, but even more so, it's a chance for redemption for G2.
And we know G2 wants the revenge, but also MKOI getting the chance to book that ticket instantly to Madrid here in the finals, I think would be an amazing opportunity for that team, because I know how much it means for them.
It means so much to them, and I actually had the pleasure of going down to their gaming house, their practice house, and ask them a little bit about how important Madrid is to the MKOI boys.
Ok. Hola, Miruen. ¿Cómo estáis?
Hola, muy bien.
Okay.
Yo genial.
Primeramente, ¿qué tan contentos estáis de haber conseguido el billete para jugar en Madrid?
Yo muy contento, la verdad. Creo que la última vez que tuvimos el road trip en Madrid, yo me lo pasé genial, la verdad. Es de las partidas que más he disfrutado en toda mi carrera. Y muy contento de volver a repetir la experiencia, y ahora más aún que tenemos que defender tanto el título como el título, ¿no?, de Reyes de Madrid, es un poco las dos cosas, así que muy contento.
Muy contentos, creo que nos da mucho tiempo encima para poder prepararnos mejor de cara a las finales, y el hecho de que sea el evento en casa, como ya vivimos el road trip, es un sueño para todos los del equipo, entonces tenemos muchas ganas y estamos muy emocionados.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go back to Madrid, and it was really exciting. I think that's where we started our momentum going, honestly, playing from there. And seeing the Spanish and KOI fans just being so passionate and everything, it was honestly an honor to play there, because I've never seen fans so passionate before, so I'm really excited to go back. Last time it was regular season, but this time it'll be playoffs and finals, which is even more hype, so I'm really excited to go back.
Entonces, creo que lo que todos podemos esperar es que sea como el road trip, que haya un montón de ruido, todo el mundo lo disfrute, porque ese partido se sintió como una final, pero en Madrid vamos a hacer una final de verdad.
¿Creéis que la gente os subestimará otra vez si llegáis a la final a Madrid?
Yo creo que sí.
¿Sí? ¿Por qué?
Creo que aunque seamos los favoritos y hemos ganado el split anterior, si no jugamos el 100% de las partidas muy limpias, creo que la gente se espera que podamos ser un poquito más flip y no lo ven tan claro, ¿no? Entonces, lo entiendo como espectador un poco. A nuestros fans muchas veces les hemos dado unos cuantos sustos en partidas, entonces entiendo que nos esperen siempre que vamos a ganar el 100% de las veces, aunque nosotros vamos con esa confianza, ¿no?, de que siempre vamos a ganar. Pero puedo entender como el espectador piensa distinto.
Okay.
Este año me llevo muchas lecciones y aprendizajes. Creo que uno de los más importantes es confiar en ti mismo, confiar en tu voz. Al fin y al cabo, es el único que vas a estar. La única persona que vas a estar contigo todo el día es tu misma voz, es lo que te dices a ti mismo, entonces cuidar eso creo que es lo más importante para tener confianza, para tener la mente más sana, así que diría que eso.
Creo que es bastante importante realmente medir bien el ego que tienes, porque hay a veces que después de haber ganado tú mismo piensas que estás haciendo las cosas bien, cuando en realidad, aunque estén siendo ok, vamos a decir, podrían ser mucho mejor. Entonces, realmente el ego y la motivación es algo que es muy importante que se siga manteniendo, porque si no tienes esa motivación extra, no vas a seguir intentando, me sale hablar en inglés, pushing to the limit, no te sale realmente llegar como al límite.
Tienes un match contra G2 el domingo y G2 viene creciendo mucho. ¿Cómo veis su nivel ahora mismo?
Yo diría que junto a nosotros somos los dos mejores equipos de la LEC, un escalón por encima. Entonces tengo muchas ganas de jugar contra ellos porque creo que han mejorado un montón y ya lo he visto en los entrenos cómo juegan, quiero jugar contra ellos en oficial.
Well, I feel like us and G2 are actually improving on the things that we're trying to improve on, so I think for sure if we just keep focusing on ourselves, the final should be us and G2.
Probablemente sepan que vamos a estar en la final, de hecho les esperaremos nosotros a ellos, pero creo que esta vez no nos van a subestimar. Ya les hemos ganado una vez, entonces van a estar preparados.
Al final, ¿tienes algunas palabras por G2 por domingo y por final?
La verdad que he visto que habéis mejorado como vuestro nivel, pero nosotros también. Así que espero que sea una serie, que sea un banger. Y bueno, nos veremos también en Madrid, veremos si volvemos a vernos en la final. Asumo que probablemente sí. Y nada, que os deseo lo mejor. Y los fans de Madrid van a estar apoyando a nosotros, pero va a estar guapa la serie.
I'm sorry, G2. I have a crown and a title to defend. So you have to be here into me and you won't win. And I'm pretty sure that in Madrid will be the same.
A lot of confidence coming out of MKOI for sure. Good to know that banger is the same in Spanish as it is in English, as we see them looking at the trophy that they, of course, were able to lift in our spring finals. And this is really what it's all about, right, Finn? Because G2, they haven't lifted that trophy in so long.
I mean, it feels like G2 will come in and they have this aura of winners. But when you think about the numbers, they actually haven't won a trophy in a year now. And I feel like with the roster changes they made in winter, we really got to start seeing some results, because they got rid of Mickey, they got rid of Yike, and they were reaching for new highs with this roster. And I think we have yet not seen those highs.
And you're looking at the trophy lifts, right? You're looking at the G2 numbers. I'll be honest, it's been a very long time. That's over a year, if you're not familiar with those days.
Yeah.
But the thing I want to talk about is today's matchup, specifically where we are. And I want to talk about tendencies as well. Because if you're looking at G2, every single split with this roster in 2025, in winter, they came through into the finals from the upper bracket. They beat KC, that would then later become the champions. Then in spring, once again, G2, they make their improvements from winter. Once again, they're the favorites coming into the spring finals, because in that upper bracket, they've beaten out MKOI, then who, of course, later beats them in that final. And once again, we're standing here today, which means there's absolutely no way you should be worried as a G2 fan, because you don't lose here. You never lose these upper brackets with this roster. You lose in finals.
You lose in finals instead, which is, it's a worrying trend for anyone who still knows that meme from the League community, Finn. And what are we looking at here? Is this a 50-50 in your mind? Has G2 really leveled up, as Broken Blade said? Of course, he said they evolved, nobody else did.
Look, I see G2 right now as the strongest version of themselves they've been so far. But I have a lot of confidence in this MKOI roster, their cohesion, their support jungle synergy, and most importantly, the guy I'm looking for today's series, Supa. Because I feel like when you think about the playoff run that MKOI made in Spring Split, the guy that was really stepping up, the guy that was carrying the games, the guy that put out all the damage, carried all those team fights was Supa. And I really want to highlight that. Look at behind me, look at his fancy plays he's making. I feel like when it comes to clutch moments, he's one of the AD carries, if not the AD carry in this league that I trust most right now. And I don't even think you can disagree with that, GB.
I honestly can. I would love to. I would really love to, but I agree. I think the playoffs last split, Supa just peaked out of nowhere. The regular season very underwhelming, and ever since spring playoffs, he's really been ramping up. But when I'm looking at the other side of G2, I'm looking at Hansama, and suddenly I'm regaining some confidence in Hansama that, I'll be honest, I haven't always had in him. I feel like now I'm finally seeing why he's so stable. I'm seeing a G2 that once again actually can play through a bot lane again, and that makes me even more excited about the matchup against Supa today.
Yeah, I think it's a really big talking point, because if we look at kind of the common denominator of G2 not winning a title, there's only 2 players that were changed, and we know that we have looked at Lebrov's performance at times, especially in the beginning of that year. I think this is also something I'm tracking today, but also in Madrid, because on the other side, in my opinion, Alvaro has been the most impressive support here for a while, right? And nobody's coming for him.
No, they're absolutely not. I think Alvaro has just been so clean on pretty much every single champion. The only little thing I can nitpick on was a bad performance last time around. But I think with Lebrov, my issues with him is never the regular season. It's never this moment right now. It is actually that question you brings up about Madrid when you're playing it, because the G2 roster right now, for me, they're lacking a clutch factor. And that's insane to say about the most historical clutch team we've had in Europe. So that's something that Laprov and Scuman needs to have adapted and is bringing to the stage now.
I like that you set it out for us. We need to see that clutch factor. Of course, Scumont, he has been tracking upwards. Oh my lord, to see if it's the same for Lebrov. And maybe we find out a little bit more with Lore, because she did ask Lebrov about MKOI's bot lane in our Marriott Bonvoy pre-game check-in.
Thank you so much, Shox, and thank you, Lebrov, for joining me ahead of your game. I want to talk about something that Hansama said. He said that KC's bot lane, and Kalist especially, is the ADC that gives him the hardest time in the league. So I'm guessing you have a similar opinion, given the synergy between the two of you. So why do you think MKOI's bot lane is going to be easier to beat today?
Well, I wouldn't say today is going to be easy, first of all, but yeah, I can agree with Hans' take. I think Kalist is a very good individual, and yeah, just basically the way he moves and stuff, it just creates more pressure than the other ADs, I would say, in EU at least. And yeah, I mean, today I think also MKOI bot is not the strongest one in lane phase. Maybe, hopefully I won't get surprised today.
Yeah.
But we will see.
All right, let's hope it doesn't backfire for you guys. Can you tell me more about what makes you better than MKOI's bot lane outside of laning phase? What do you think you have the upper hand?
I think me and Hans spent a lot of time discussing about lane phase and ways we can improve. And yeah, I think we also think similar about the game and have a same mindset. So I would say that's it pretty much.
I feel like G2 so far is about overcoming their demons. You beat down KC last week. They overcame you in winter. In spring, it was MKOI. You have to beat them today to make finals. How did they evolve as a team, would you say, since the last time you faced them in a clutch series like this?
Well, we didn't play MKOI for such a long time, actually, since the finals. And like my take is that they for sure improved. They went to international and they played many games. They even took one game of T1, I think. And yeah, I think they for sure improved. So I'm very excited about today's game.
All right, let's see how it goes. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
Good luck on the Rift today. And that's all for us here. So it's time for us to kick it off with the match of the week, G2 versus MKOI.